Welcome. I'm in Spanish, I have a beard, and this is my podcast. Today I want to talk about cars. Not the movie, favorite of my daughter, but the actual, cars thing. I mean, as a car person who likes cars, not that I'm some car person hybrid, I find the car topic quite interesting. Because we have two big groups, the people who drive and people who don't drive. Then you can separate people in so many ways after, right? Yeah, you have people who drive a lot, but then the people who don't drive that much. People who enjoy cars, but they don't enjoy driving. People who drives a lot, but they don't like it. Then you have people who drive a lot and like it, and people who doesn't drive a lot and don't like it, neither. And then we can get into types of driving, right? But that would be crazy. We can get another time probably. So from an analyst perspective, I started thinking about cars and more exactly what my car means to me. And that brings me to what cars mean to people, if it means anything at all. And I can give you an example. I broke my pants with a spring coming out of a driver's seat, like on the back. I'm gonna sit on the back of the car, and the spring came out of the seat in front of me, and I broke my pants. And for a minute, I tried to understand why. I mean, I know I changed my car when I started to look and feel old, when it was 8 years old, and I bought it with 5, so that was like 3 years after. And then I was driving a 6-year-old car that I bought with 4 to actually get a new car, like actual new, new car, just because I really wanted to, have like that wonderful driving experience that a new car in 2018 had, with all the bells and whistles and stuff, right? And I do look. I understand people who only look at cars as a way to go from point A to point B, right, and go to work and stuff like that. But I still believe in some basics, right? Like not having like the passenger seat floor full of shoes and garbage as I've seen in the past, or basically just making sure your car is good enough to bring someone in if you have to, you know, if you have to like give a ride to someone. I don't know. I mean, for me, my car's always been part of my identity, even when they weren't actually mine. Not that were stolen, but they were like from my parents or like my mom. I mean, my parents. Uh, um, or sometimes that I got a car to just be able to drive it for some months because of some reason. I always took it like as something personal, right? And then that's the thing. That's the other thing that bothers me is the lack of respect that others have of your car, alright, as well. Like I could have said this year, I'm trying to just judge people the least as possible, and that's actually affected a lot my driving in terms of like trying to avoid that, let's call it anxiety, or that nervous feeling when driving, when like someone is doing something probably shouldn't do, or not using indicators, or like just cutting you off in traffic, or like there's so many things that I drive daily to downtown Montreal, in the morning and then in the afternoon, and it's, how could I say, there's so many situations where you can lose your shit, and I've been avoiding it really well. I would say for most of these, like I would say 2 weeks of this year. um, but while not trying to judge, how could I say? It's a matter of, if I care about my car and you come into my car, and I take my car seriously, shouldn't you just be a bit gentle? Make sure you don't scratch anything or like stuff like that. It's like something I'm trying to like kind of teach my 2-year-old daughter about. Like, this is our car, this is my car. if you want your car to look good and you want to enjoy your car, the best that you can do is be careful with it, right? Don't kick it. Don't kick the seat. Don't kick the doors. Like stuff like that. I mean, accidents happen, obviously, right? But I mean, would you touch a phone with hands covered in, I don't know, barbecue sauce or something like that? Probably not. And unless if it's, someone else's phone. So what I'm trying to say is, how could I say? Nothing matters. Really. Like, it doesn't matter. But even when it doesn't matter, if someone gives a fuck about the car, be gentle. And if you don't give a fuck about yours, at least warn me that there's a spring coming out of the seat. So when I sit on the back, I do not break my pants. This is it for today. If you have any comments, I would love to read them. So you can find me at Spanish Beard Guy on Instagram and Twitter. Thanks for listening. Get out there, be kind, and give a fuck about the right things.